Hey everybody, welcome back to PastorTKCards. Wanted to say happy Friday to you, and excited that baseball season is upon us and the Phillies are undefeated. They're 1-0. Kind of bittersweet with them playing the Rangers, but Rangers are my American League team, my second favorite team. We lived in the Metroplex for 8.5 years and had half-season tickets for several years to the Rangers, and really grew to love them. We were there in 2010, 2011, got to see the World Series years there. And really, that 2011 is still one of my kind of most impactful bad sports feelings I've had in my life. Honestly, it didn't bother me for too long, but man, when they won the World Series a couple years ago, it felt really good to kind of see that redeemed. But always going to root for the Phillies first, but man, I'd love to see a Rangers-Phillies World Series. That would be fun one day. My son grew up a lot of his years in the Metroplex, so he's a diehard Rangers fan, and so we enjoy giving each other a hard time. I sent him a text yesterday, said, "Go Phillies." He said, "Boo." But that's a 3-game series. We'll see who comes out on top of that. I know they're not going to sweep the Phillies, though. I know that now. And so in honor of the start of Major League Baseball and the regular season, I just wanted to show you some of my Phillies pickups from the last few months since I've started collecting again. All of these I've acquired that I'm going to show today. I've acquired since last June, and I hadn't shown any of them on the channel yet. So I just wanted to show you some of my favorite Phillies pickups in the last few months. So I'm going to turn the camera around and go Phillies. When it comes to Phillies players, there's really three kind of prominent eras that I try to get stuff from. Kind of that 08-09 time when we were in the World Series back-to-back years. This is an autograph of Cliff Lee I picked up from 2025 Archives. Cliff Lee wasn't on the 08 team, but he was a big part of the 09 team making it to the World Series. Unfortunately, he lost to the evil empire, the Yankees, but was glad to get a Cliff Lee in the collection. Pat Burrell, big part of our World Series championship. Left the Phillies after the 08 season, but man, that was just a fun time. Solid left fielder, had good power. Just really enjoyed watching Pat Burrell play. Carlos Ruiz, our catcher there in those years, just a great ball player and kind of the captain of an incredible pitching staff. It just a really good catcher, fun to watch. Added that one. Jason Worth. Makes me think of Alec Baum now in today's Phillies roster, but just really an underrated player, just a good cog in that lineup, and a great lefty, probably the second best left-handed Phillies pitcher in history, in my opinion. But Cole Hamels, I think he's got a outside shot of making the Hall of Fame, but he had a great season in 2008 and carried us in the playoffs. It was fun to watch. That World Series championship. The only other World Series championship that the Phillies have had was in 1980, and I remember watching it, but I wasn't really a Phillies fan. That's when I decided to become a Phillies fan. So it took 28 years for me to see another one, and hopefully it won't take that much longer to see one again. But Cole Hamels, great pitcher there. And our first baseman, just so much fun to watch, Ryan Howard. And this autograph and bat piece from Topps is just a neat card, numbered 38 out of 50. Just been in my collection. This one actually is this is the only one I had before I started collecting again 6 months ago. I picked this up back in 2014 or 15 or so. Not sure what year that is. 2010 Topps Series 2. I think I must have picked that up in 2010, and I was actually in a live break. That was very beginning of breaks on YouTube. I don't do breaks anymore. They just don't feel right to me, but I sure have kept that card in my collection. Then some of the modern day guys, I like to try to keep it. I'm trying to get an autograph of every major player on our roster right now. This is a nice copy of a Bryson Stott autograph I picked up from 5 Star. Bryson's just a solid player. Trying to see him develop a little bit more, but really glad that Bryson's a Philly. And then we really need this guy right here to pitch well tomorrow if we're going to have a chance to beat DeGrom and the Rangers. Had an off year last year, but Aaron Nola's just been a cog in our rotation. And with Wheeler down a little bit to start the season, we really need Aaron to go back to his old form a little bit if possible. So hopefully he'll do that. And another incredible catcher that we are just blessed to have on the Phillies, JT Realmuto. Probably one of the best overall catchers in the last decade. as far as bat and speed and defense and how to manage a pitching staff. Just glad that Realmuto's on the Phillies. Then the other era, so that's the modern and the current. Another era that was a fun time for me, although it ended tragically with a walk-off home run by Joe Carter, was the 1993 season. Was a fun season. I was in college working at Foot Locker, and I remembered my grandmother was a huge Braves fan, and I lived in college about 4 miles from my grandparents, and we talked a lot of junk to each other, but the Phillies got the best of the Braves that year. Really weren't supposed to make it past the Braves to get to the World Series, but they did, and really had a chance against the Blue Jays. But wild thing, Mitch Williams walked Ricky Henderson to start the ninth, and then Joe Carter ruined it. I was actually out of town and I was listening to it on the radio. I was on a youth retreat. I was a youth pastor and didn't have access to a TV, and I don't think I was in too bad a mood that night. I still got focused back on what I was there for, but I remember just that one was almost as bad as the 2011 World Series with the Rangers for me. And I love the way that Lenny Dykstra played. He just had a lot of grit. I've always liked this guy too and how he plays. Old John Kruk was an important part of that '93 team, and just a neat card there. I was able to pick. I like Gypsy Queen. They were. I don't know when the last time they produced Gypsy Queen was. This is from 2013. I just noticed that it's no longer produced. But I really like the on-card autographs in that set. Picked that one up recently. And then the favorite time of my being a fan of the Phillies is, well, it started in 1980, so I picked up a few cards from that era. Larry Boa, his autograph. Old Bake McBride, one of our outfielders for the 1980 championship season. Just a really neat autograph on the 75 design. I said Cole Hamels was the best left-handed pitcher that we've had. Second best. Here is, in my opinion, the best left-handed pitcher the Phillies have ever had. Hall of Famer Steve Carlton with the on-card autograph. Greg Guzinski, just a really nice autograph and a really important part of the Phillies teams in that era. Our catcher, Bob Boone, picked up his autograph as well. And then another one of our outfielders on the 81 Topps design. Pretty neat looking card. I just got done putting my 81 Topps set in binders, and that's the year I started collecting, was 1981 Topps. So whenever I see that little hat logo, it just brings back a lot of memories. But Lonnie Smith on the on-card auto as well. Just wanted to show you some of my favorite Phillies cards I've picked up in the last few months, and I just appreciate you watching. And every day, let's say go Phillies, and we'll see you next time.